I literally, as you brought up how like tired you get after like the pool and stuff, I realized just how much of a cheat code like the swimming pool is for parents for their kids.
Yeah.
Because it literally knocks them out. And it's like, okay, like I don't have to deal with them like at all. I just need to supervise them, I guess, at the pool. Or if I have a friend that can watch over both my kids and their kids.
It's like, this is why the parents always just stay and sunbathe or just sit in a chair. They almost never go in the water. They're just there, like, they'll tucker themselves out.
Yeah.
I can just sit.
Or read a book or like literally
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. They just go to vibe. Parents pay to go vibe and like knock their kids out.
America's number one export is vibes in this current day and age.
Not the kind you want.
No, we good vibes only. Shout out to Travis Scott. How we doing, Astro World? Welcome to Real to Real. How many people died? Not as many people as the amount of people that died in this movie today. What movie did we watch today, Jesse?
Today we watched Boondock Saints, which I have been meaning to watch for years.
Nikhil's still gone. We got a doctor in the house. Shout outs to the homie Vasilios. How you doing, bud?
All right.
You waved to nothing. We don't have a camera. We normally do, but not today.
Not for the last couple of weeks.
You addressed me.
Nikhil took it with him for my birthday month.
Yeah.
It's force of habit.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Boondock Saints. Number one on the list of dumb guy movies.
Mm-hmm. And unexpected movies.
I think that every single person that unironically enjoys Boondock Saints... Oh, okay, no. Anybody that goes, man, the story of Boondock Saints is really intriguing and, like, smart, they're Black Rifle coffee enjoyers. like they have a Mission Barbecue black card. Like, it's those type of people.
I agree.
So is mine coming in the mail? Or what?
Yeah. Oh, man. This is going to be a fucking mess of an episode because it's like three dudes that like obviously have... I don't even know if left-leaning at this point is accurate to describe like at least my politics as well as our guests. It's like we watched a movie that was made by like the biggest MAGA chud. And then we were like, no, but that was so sick, though.
Dude, this, like, so the story behind it being, like, a bouncer at a bar wrote it and, like, gave it to a Hollywood dude, you can tell.
Yeah.
It's not
a screenplay.
Right.
It's a series of paragraphs that he wrote down on a bar napkin.
But, like, it's all, like, it's not, like, fourth wall breaking, but it's self-referential in a way where it's just, like...
No, it's the same thing with Equilibrium. Have you ever seen that movie?
I watched some of it, not the whole thing.
But it's like the same. It's just made. Okay, so the thing with Equilibrium is that the guy that directed it is just a himbo. Like he could blow my back out for sure. Like he can get it. This dude looks like a guy named Earl, but he's not. I think his name's like Todd Duffy or something like that.
Sounds about right.
I don't remember his name, but his whole story is that like he moved to LA to try to be a musician. Like he had a whole band and he was going to start his music career. And like every other like mediocre dude that wants to do music had to go get a job, like an actual job that could pay the rent because they're like punk rock, but not punk because they're just the establishment doesn't work in that genre. So, like they're the machine that like, is being raged against.
Right. Unless you're the old heads who like raged against it and that made your brand that and then you became that.
But
and
like,
now in your old age,
this is the problem though. He is the type of people that went like, oh my God, I didn't know that Rage Against the Machine were a bunch of fucking libtards. I'm not listening to them anymore. And the entire time you're like, what did you think the Machine was? Like actually tell me what the fuck you thought the Machine was.
Yeah.
But then he got the job as he worked at a bar. And so like that fight scene so we're just going to get into the movie, but like that first fight scene that pretty much started the whole, like, we're just going to become Irish Batmen. That was like, oh yeah, you know, I saw this so many times. I'm like, I'm going to call bullshit on that one, my guy. Because as someone that has been to LA many a times, no Russians.
Yeah.
Severe lack of Russians.
He probably saw that scene just as many times as he saw the opening scene happen IRL.
Like inside of a church?
Yeah.
Dude, two dudes in just all black storm the altar. The priest doesn't do anything except the visiting priest, who's just like, "Hey, man, I think you're about to get terrorismed." And then the deacon's like, "Nah, bro, they're cool. Just look at them. This is so dope. Just let them be."
But like the reason why I'm comparing this movie to Equilibrium is because it's like the same dumb guy mentality of like, oh man, what would be like the sickest thing? It's like morally sound individuals that understand that violence is the only answer to crime.
Mm-hmm.
In the same way that like people that feel too much are dangerous. That's Equilibrium.
They did say the greatest evil is the
Is
good
emotion,
guy
yeah.
that doesn't.
No, it's good men being inactive. It was phrased differently. Those weren't the exact words, but it was them being content or something like that. One of those things.
It is the most Protestant Irish Catholic movie that I've ever seen. like that the movie exudes such crazy American Protestant energy, but it is just like the Catholic iconography just threw me off.
I got thrown for a bit too because I grew up obviously like Irish Catholic and Mexican. It's super Catholic.
Yeah.
And I was always told that like wearing the rosary was like kind of a big no-no. And I had to look it up to like actually be sure. And it's like, if you're doing it for fashion, yes, that's stupid and fucked. If you do it and you pray, it's fine. It's like, oh, all right. Well, I mean, I guess they prayed, they used them.
The opening scene of them just hitting each other with meat was like, it was the strangest. It felt like I had an outer body experience watching that.
I have thoughts on a specific part where they did the whole anti-SJW thing.
Dude, this was made in 99.
I know.
They're so fucking far ahead. He was so far ahead of the curve.
Yeah, I didn't know what the rule of thumb meant.
I didn't either.
I'm like,
that's crazy.
I'm like, dude, listen,
'Cause,
I
like-
get it. SJWs are annoying as shit because like they can't laugh at anything. But holy fuck, no one's getting mad at someone saying rule of thumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that is
A little note though, like on that, to say that to like meat packers, like, oh, what could like, how much damage could a stick like that go? It's like, bro, listen, if you're a blue collar worker, your thumbs are like 3 of normal
they're the
people's
size
thumbs.
of a whole fucking kielbasa. I get it. It's not cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So that I believe like, yeah, no, she has every right to react like that, but
But like the reaction
to the rule
in
general,
yeah,
but like
the
to
reaction
someone
to
just
the
saying
first
rule of
place.
thumb, yeah, no, that's
I'm
completely
like,
off the wall.
That is the craziest Twitter discourse. That is
Yeah.
like a Rod Dreher article where he's like, "Oh yeah, I was speaking with my colleague who is a 29-year-old college student from Hungary or some shit like that." Like, what the fuck are we doing? No, that is not a real thing that anybody has ever experienced.
You just
but like the whole like brotherly love slapping each other
Yeah.
with meat and saying like who's the top or whatever is totally like that's
Okay, go
That's
on.
real.
What
you
was the
just helped
point?
me realize literally this movie could have existed in the modern day as a series of Twitter threads.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the thing that like the time where there's that abrupt like black screen because there's no transition is going from one Twitter thread to the next one.
It's 100% like parentheses 1 of 5, and then like the black screen is 5 of 5.
Yeah.
And then the guy is just like, no, I'm still angry. I have to keep posting.
I think the best part is like if we're comparing it directly to the movie, the original post is done by Willem Dafoe. Cause like he's kind of the narrator for the movie, except he's an actual character in the world.
Yeah.
And I think that was actually kind of dope.
So, God,
Because I know you're not a fan of like, or you are a fan of like the non-linear storytelling. So like,
I'm a fan of the non-linear storytelling, but when it's done by someone with like a higher than 42 IQ, you know, like it is insane how stupid this movie was. It felt like you guys all have younger relatives, right? Like
Yes.
like around that age of like 9, 10. Like you've
Not
all,
anymore.
I mean, but like you've all interacted with them when you were, old enough where
Right.
where you can tell a story.
Sure.
This movie sounds like one of those
Yeah.
stories.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's like, but then they keep on sidetracking themselves. It is incredible that like a bald 35-year-old Irish dude chasing after punk rock dreams going out to LA like wrote this on bar napkins, and Hollywood went, no, that's
Wait,
so
who
sick.
took it? Like who did he give the movie to?
I want you to guess.
Oh.
I want you to guess.
Oh man, I don't know, but I'm really excited for whatever
want
the
you to
answer
guess.
is.
It like there's so many levels of fucked. Just
Oh, hold on. If you're saying it like that, is it Weinstein?
yeah. Yeah, Harvey Weinstein gave this fucker $15 million. And you know why? He looked at the guy and goes, it's like staring into a mirror. I always wondered what it was like to grow up Irish Catholic and still want to do fucked up shit to women.
Okay, I don't know what that sound was. I don't think I've ever made that one before. But hot take, Weinstein was the one that added that bit in the beginning about beating women with the rule of thumb. That was his idea.
I don't know about that.
He put that in there.
No.
As a cover.
Have you seen the picture of the guy that directed this movie?
No.
Just
But
look
look at Harvey Weinstein's thumbs.
Mm,
Like that was his idea.
yeah.
So was the casting.
Yeah.
Because that's just how he sees women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to fight you on that one.
Mm-hmm.
We're on this is fast tracking into cancel territory real fucking quick.
All right, so just to veer it, the anti-law enforcement angle of the movie was pretty interesting.
Was it anti-law
I don't
enforcement
think it was.
though?
I think it was law
more,
enforcement covering for vigilantes.
Yeah, it
through
was like
sheer stupidity.
Dude, I love how there was one smart person in this entire movie,
And it was Willem
It was
Dafoe.
like a self-loathing. It was a
FBI
self-loathing gay Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, he recognizes he can't get the like proper course of action from his work or line of work or like laws or anything. So he literally goes to a church to ask questions on ethics because he realizes where he comes from is not going to help him get to the right answer.
Wasn't his whole thing like he was having an existential crisis after calling another gay person a fairy, and then like was like, oh man, how was I a good God fearing like gay Catholic like not able to see that the guy that gave the two Irishmen clothing was the third person in this crime?
What was the name of the third guy again?
Rocco.
Rocco
character.
is such a character.
Best character.
He reminded me of the other dude that wasn't Johnny Depp in Fear and Loathing. I don't know if that's like actually real, but that's who he reminded me of. And then like some of the like skipping towards the end, like the dude who like bought Willem Dafoe being a chick, that was just tall fat cake boss.
That was okay, dude. This movie was like is simultaneously like an insane pick because it's Pride Month and it's like super fucking like whatever phobic. Like it's there. It's there.
It's there.
Yeah. However,
It's there, but
Willem
it's like
Dafoe as a woman can
He
get
pulls it off. He definitely pulls it off.
Dude, when he was like, "Oh yeah, like just give me 5 minutes," I'm like, I'm gonna need a couple minutes longer than that, bud. What the fuck are you saying? No game. Thrust game weak as fuck.
I will say it took me after watching the movie to like fully recognize the like bits of like character development for Rocco where it's like, oh, he's like super like secure in his like family mob boss thing, but once he gets like
Sold out.
he's like, oh, forget them.
what have
Like-
I been doing this for?
Yeah,
all
it's
these
like all of these
years?
people that I thought were fake friends.
Like in the bar scene, it's like, oh, don't worry about your bar. Like I can talk with some people to get this sorted out. It's like, nah. Like the Irish protagonists are like, no, they're not going to actually do anything. Like they recognize
Yeah.
the Italian
right.
mob family isn't going to
Yeah.
actually help this bar stay afloat. Like we can't rely on them.
Italians and Irish have
I
history.
love how the director and writer of this movie felt it was necessary to give the bartender like just Tourette's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that was so unnecessary, but it was
Dude,
also incredible.
I appreciated how he
Make like a
looked.
tree and get the fuck out
Yeah.
is like the coolest dumb guy line that like anyone has ever wanted to say. It's like anyone that exudes like hold me back energy
The
in a bar
casting
fight.
for it was so perfect though, because like I know you also work at a church, and I know you go to like a Greek Orthodox church, so you definitely don't see like the old Irish grandpas, but like old Irish grandpas that go to church regularly, that is exactly what
That's
some
what
of
they
them
look like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was so spot on. And like when it was in a bar, I thought it was going to be that fucking shit that you and Nick were talking about last week, where it's like the bar's family and they like stand up for the bar, and it's like, oh, it's going to be like a more action, less comedy version of like Shaun of the Dead or something.
We should also definitely talk about who the Irish brothers are. So
Yeah.
it's an actual Irish dude. What was his name? Sean something.
Like Sean Patrick Flannery.
Yeah.
Like the most Irish name.
It's 3 first names.
Yeah.
And
then the other guy just has 2 last names.
It's Norm Reedus.
Yeah.
And it's Murphy, whatever the character's
Murphy
last name is.
McManus.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's their last name.
That
Amazing.
Best acting role for Norman Reedus.
Yeah. So this is the thing, right?
Best acting role for Willem Dafoe too.
Yeah.
I've only seen
we're
him as the
being-
Green Goblin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we're
but,
being like
my God.
totally honest, he saved the movie.
For sure.
Oh, dude, the best part.
But
Unironically.
Norman Reedus played the most kidnapped brother in cinema history. Like the most kidnapped
He
brother.
didn't even get. He was not even
He was
a
just-
little Mokuba
But
this whole time.
I said cinema.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Mokuba was only in like one movie. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but his
But-
whole character arc is get
being
kidnapped.
yeah, being taken.
Cross-dress, get kidnapped. That one time when the princess was just
Mokuba.
Mokuba, but not.
But like how was it that like the older brother just was constantly in handcuffs and then they always took the little brother? Like what is that situation? Gave me some
Okay.
really weird like supernatural Tumblr vibes. Their interactions, like everything, like they just stared longingly at each other a lot.
The meat slap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That opening scene where they're in their room together and they're like half naked, I'm like, they're gay partners, right?
This is
Yeah.
Top
that's
Gun.
what's going on.
This is Top Gun.
This is a queer coded movie.
Yeah.
Like is this what we're getting at? Like is this the episode? Like is this the theme of the episode? 3 straight dudes talking about like LGBT issues in comparison to fucking Boondock Saints? Is this what we're really going with?
I thought you meant the movie being that for a second.
No, yeah. It's like the entire movie is queer coded because
No,
the
no,
entire time,
yeah.
like they're
Okay,
trying to
okay.
be like, oh, homosexuality and incest are super dope, and we need to legalize it.
Where was the Oh, okay.
Boston.
They're brothers.
Yeah.
No,
I never.
no. The two dudes trying to
Oh.
like dock were
No.
brothers.
I thought you meant like the movie being 3 dudes talking about issues where the 2 brothers in Rocco. I was like, I don't think they really
no.
talked about it, but
Rocco
yeah.
was just like the bull in the situation. Okay.
What do you mean the bull?
Oh God, damn it! Fuck, Nikhil would have laughed at that one. Never mind. I'm not explaining that joke.
All right,
Listeners at home, you get it.
that's for Nikhil. We hope you listen to this one, bud.
I will say they didn't really sell the whole brother aspect at all.
They also
It was
didn't
just
sell
the
the whole
kidnapping
Irish
thing.
aspect.
Right. They spoke how many different languages in that one scene? Like that confused
yeah.
me a lot.
Willem Dafoe got hard.
He did.
Willem
Yeah.
Dafoe in the interrogation room was just like, oh God, they're so hot.
Yeah.
They're so sexy.
Like that's when you
He was just like, I could take him.
They can take me.
that was the seed of like, is the law actually the right thing? That's where the seed was planted when he like actually dealt with them in person.
Yeah.
The whole message behind the movie is that, like, remember that the gays are the original anti-establishment.
I think that would be an okay
Take
takeaway.
that as you will.
That might be an okay takeaway.
Yeah.
Macho man. I really wish
YMCA.
That would have been such a good song to put in the movie.
Dude, the soundtrack in this movie, like, every time music played, I was like, guys, this is...
Where is it going?
No, it was just like, why is this... Every time, like, it was supposed to be, like, setting up for some big action sequence, it was either, like, Barracuda but not Barracuda, or it just sounded like it was in Hackers. Like
You're right.
the music that they picked for like every action sequence in this fucking movie, I was like,
Dude,
this is not what you're going for.
And they did,
I can
like-
see it, I can hear it. There's just this is the music is the dissonance of like the entire scene. Like this should be something else.
No, they did.
Please.
They did like the most dumb guy thing, where it's like any scene where Willem Dafoe is being really smart, it was just classical music.
Oh, and he like conducted the crime scenes whenever he was investigating.
And that is like the number one trope of every dumb guy movie, because it's the same thing as like in Equilibrium, when Christian Bale like accidentally touches
Turns on the
record
fucking
player,
phonograph.
and it's just fucking Beethoven, and he's crying. He's like, "This is the most beautiful thing I've ever listened to," and it's like Ode to Joy.
Isn't it also the typical like savant like detective thing
Yeah.
too?
Yeah.
Motherfucker, just like,
Because
why
dumb
are you,
guys
what are
are
you
always
doing?
like smart guys like classical.
Dude, and it's like Willem Dafoe's introduction into this movie was, my life's a movie, and then like has just a fucking CD player attached to his belt.
Yeah.
But that never comes back.
No.
Like that is not a repeating thing that he does. So I'm just like, why did you... None of this makes sense.
I think part of it, is like, just to give context to like why in his head all this is very like fanciful and he like acts it out, essentially. It's like, I think it was like added post like writing, essentially, like as they were like trying to actually figure out how they're going to shoot this movie. It's like, okay, this is a little too absurd without like some like added connection. So they were like, oh, we'll make it make sense by attaching a CD player to their hip, and everyone will understand why he acts the way he does. Because it's the most obvious answer.
CD players meant you were eccentric in the 90s.
Yeah,
That's
because
what
you
this
didn't know
is.
what was in the CD player. It
Right.
could be like Backstreet Boys or whatever the fuck that gospel music was.
I want to see a fan edit of that scene where instead of playing classical music, it's Backstreet Boys.
Done. I have... Don't worry. Reel to
gonna do
reel
some
shorts
shit.
coming out. What's up?
He's gonna do some shit where like he's gonna find a song where like there's
Willem
one beat
Dafoe
that
wanted it that
something
way.
will be. It will be in time with the scene and with Willem Dafoe's actions.
Oh, yeah. Listen, I will throw away whatever work that I actually have to get done for the next couple of weeks to like make a series of fan edits to just NSYNC and Backstreet Boys. I'm gonna throw in R.I.P. Aaron Carter up in this bitch too.
Dude, like
Willem Dafoe conducting the first crime scene to I Want Candy hits so hard. That sounds like it slaps so fucking hard.
Can we talk about like the contrast with like all the other detectives?
Yes. That was exactly
was-
where I wanted to go
oh,
with the next part of the
Like,
conversation.
hey, listen, this guy, you know, like, he felt like, look at how much, like, that takes a big fucking guy to fall on him. Like, it takes a dude with a lot of tonnage behind him, you know? And, oh, yeah, a big guy? Yeah, man. A big, like, so we've got these two guys and this guy. Yeah, it's got to be a big guy. And just the deconstruction, and then, like, go get coffee.
It was...
Like, that was golden hour. You were Willem Dafoe, and I was, no, dude, it's a big guy. Listen, I'm going to take over this operation. You just go get the coffee.
Just listen, I got it. I'll take the wheel from here, Chief.
And how, like, in the fucking... I had seen the, like, dropping from the ceiling thing before. Didn't think that was how it went down. I thought it was, like, something like that is always the climax. So I kind of appreciated how that was just a fucking accident and just in the middle of the movie for no good fucking reason. But, like, that going into that scene with the cop being like, oh, yeah, what if it was just, like, one guy with two guns? And then the next scene at the house being like, what if it was one guy with 6 guns? Being
then
the
they were
actual
right?
yeah. answer.
Oh god,
like, dude,
that was like a really cathartic experience.
oh no, dude, it's definitely just the dude from Con Air that looked like the Hoosiers coach.
Yeah.
It's definitely that guy who has something against people with sociology degrees.
Yeah.
I will say something that like I completely got like thrown off by was like the finding the water thing, because I was like, what is this water thing? And then once I saw the toilet being lifted up, I'm like,
Yo, how the
Yeah,
fuck? Where
like
did the toilet go?
I mean, they didn't show us.
it was on the crime scene. That's why it was like,
Was
look
it?
for water.
What was
I
the
I didn't notice it, but apparently I guess it was there.
I don't know.
Because
The
it was definitely
continuity
in
was like
pieces.
everywhere.
They had it definitely shatter. It wasn't that
Yeah.
dumb guy of a dumb guy movie.
But like, okay, so the entire thing falls, right? But like the top plate of
Yeah.
the toilet
Just went somewhere
was
else.
just no, it was used
It
to
left
beat
the
the
scene.
shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It left the scene and it came back in. Like it was like a
because
magical
you saw it
toilet.
fall off
Yeah, yeah,
separately.
yeah.
Oh,
And
that just landed in the same trash bags that the guy did, which is why he landed okay and nothing broke.
Dude,
Because if porcelain doesn't break, then bones won't break.
random tangent. So they made a documentary about the director
Really?
in 2003 because
Wait, who is the director?
of this movie?
Yeah,
The
who was it? Was
Todd-
it the writer?
Yeah,
Oh,
He
writer,
wrote
director.
and directed.
I
yeah.
did not know that.
I think it was his last name is Duffy.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
that.
Okay.
I remember that. I don't remember his first name. It's
Okay.
probably it started with a T. I'm pretty
Gotcha.
sure. But they made it. They made a whole documentary, and like I am so motivated to watch that documentary because I want to listen to him talk. It's like those SoundCloud rappers that do Genius interviews on YouTube. I feel like that's what that documentary is like.
Maybe.
Where it's like some like suburban white kid that's done too many painkillers being like trying to explain ya yeet ya and what that means. Like that sounds that's probably what this documentary is.
It's just that feeling when you're posted up on the wall in the party and you're just like, yeah, man, yeah.
I can't even fight you on that one. You're probably right. That's probably what it is. Jesus.
It's a vibe, man.
So-
yeah, it's a vibe.
I know the continuity issues with this movie are all over the place.
Don't
but
exist.
how did they know to find the guy that was the arms dealer?
Yeah.
They're Irish.
What the fuck does that mean?
Irish, Irish.
If I
They
want to
never
be in
killed
a
someone.
union, I'd probably
here-
go hit up an
here's-
Irish dude.
Here's
If-
the
what?
thing. Here's the thing with that. What I didn't get is how, like, in order to get access to the mystery closet of guns that is through, like a fucking iron chain fence that is definitely you can like see through.
You
They
had to
paid him hundreds of dollars
and a beeper.
and their own guns.
Yeah.
To
Not
get
their own. It
No,
was from
yeah.
the Russians. Because they put
okay.
them all in the bag.
Got it.
Yeah.
And then like a
Paid
pager.
with guns to get other guns, and then they just picked up other pistols. And I was like,
And the rope.
what? And the rope. I
the
mean, the
rope.
rope.
the
was
rope
key,
is the
of
most,
course,
and then like
obviously.
the knife, which also came in the clutch.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's like, wow, in this room where they have literally like a mounted fucking minigun or some shit,
Yeah.
they pick knife and ropes. I wonder if these will be important
They
in the
didn't-
scene following immediately after.
I mean, like they were picking up the rifles and shit too. I was like, oh, maybe
It's gonna
we're
be a John
get
Wick
like,
deal.
We're gonna get like a sniper situation, you know?
Yeah. No.
know,
and then the brothers wrestle in the air vent. In the most, like, this is what having siblings is like
Yeah.
moment
Yeah.
in the entire movie. It's like, wasn't there with the whole, like, meat smack. Definitely 100% real.
Okay, hold on. Time
Air
out.
dog
Both
fight.
of you have brothers.
Yes.
Tell
Yeah.
me that if both you and your sibling worked in a meat plant, at some point you wouldn't slap him with like a cow tongue.
Yeah, I mean, probably.
I would
Yeah.
like sneak it into a sandwich.
Like just a raw
You're just
cow
gonna give him
tongue.
fucking salmonella, bro.
What the fuck? Wait, hold on. No, you're a sociopath. What the fuck?
But a thought on the gun
Like
locker.
doing that, and then like in front of like everyone and being like, "I'm the champion" or whatever. It's like that. That's a stretch. But just like fucking taking a slab of meat or like pushing your brother into it or fucking slapping him with a piece is like, yeah, that's gonna happen at some point.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say about the gun locker thing?
It'd be hilarious if the whole like reason why he wanted this movie greenlit is so that there would be the budget to buy
All the guns.
the minigun so he could have it for his own collection.
Oh,
I
guys,
wouldn't even
it's
be
totally a prop.
surprised.
It's totally a prop.
I wouldn't even be surprised.
Yeah.
God. He's so dumb. Todd Duffy, Tim, I don't know, dude. Duffy, just if you're listening to this podcast, get off Twitter, man.
I don't
That's
think
not
it's
for
Tim
you.
Duffy. If it's Tim Duffy, I think I'd
You'd
probably
know.
remember.
But no,
I
dude.
actually know like a Tim Duffy.
But listen, my guy, just get off Twitter. It's not for you. Like, stay on Facebook. Stay on Facebook with all the old, all the other
old
boomers.
heads.
Yeah. Stay listening to like Guns N' Roses or whatever you guys do.
Going back into the actual movie, so the whole fucking scene happens. They drop from the ceiling, conveniently tied together by the feet in the rope.
Yeah.
Perfectly posed, and like
One
it
rope.
didn't break their leg. One rope. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did
Or,
not
like-
dislocate their hip.
Right. Or
Perfectly
anything.
balanced.
Shot everyone in the room, and then the mob boss who was just like walking around preaching in there looked like the most Italian Russian boss
Yeah.
that I have ever
But
seen.
it's also like they gave the Italian mob boss the most Russian last name possible, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was odd.
It was like he looked like a founding father if he was Russian or some shit. Like I don't know,
just
he was
looked
just
like
on
a
some
fucking
shit.
czar.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
the
like,
motherfucker
he
looked
was
like he
still,
came
like,
out
he
of
was-
like the Romanov family tree. He's the
was
one that
talking-
everyone's like, oh, he's still alive.
Yeah, and he was cracked the fuck out talking to everyone in the room, and then everyone in the room dies, and he's just on his knees still like, but I didn't finish what I was saying. I'm still talking. It was like Russian fucking what's his face from oh my god, Caddyshack, the fucking rich guy.
Oh, Rodney Dangerfield.
Yes, Russian Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah,
Little bit.
a little bit.
That wasn't the original joke, but yeah.
Yeah.
He's still just trying to. I still have an audience. You guys are listening to me, right? Facing forward as they're behind you with the fucking guns to his head. It's like, okay, whatever. And then Rocco was sent to, I guess, murk the room full of Russian mob
so
bosses.
I guess we should go back a little bit and explain Rocco's involvement in how he became like the Robin to the two Irish Batmen.
Yeah.
So like after the whole debacle at the bar, Rocco goes to talk to the Don, right? Like the head of the
Oh my god, that scene.
what was it? The
man.
Yana
fuck.
whatever the fuck that Russian Italian last name was.
Yeah.
It didn't make any sense.
Yanukovych or some
No.
shit.
No, not that.
It's
It
not
was
that.
some strange
Yeah.
last name. Anyway.
But so he goes to talk to like the Don and then like the
The Elvis impersonator.
Yeah.
Yeah. that
Fuck
very
me,
good
man.
title. I like that title. Aptly put.
it's like end of life Elvis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he survived the poop incident, but not
Just so
by
he
much.
could die masturbating instead.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Either
forgot
way, he
about
died
that.
a really sticky death. But okay, so he goes in, and Rocco is like the errand boy for this this Italian crime family, and he like has to go deliver a sandwich to the Don.
Dude, that sandwich was so weak.
It was like
It was literally
8
meat on
pieces of
bread.
salami. It was 8 pieces of salami on like Irish soda bread.
And it was
no,
bone
it
dry.
wasn't. It was not soda bread. You'd see the raisins.
That's
Come
fair.
on.
It was what the fuck is it was just on like the driest hoagie roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then
And he opens it up. He's like, "Oh, look at this! Look at this sandwich." I was like, "Yeah, man, it's not a lot to look at."
yeah.
And then he tells like the
the-
most like classic
You know-
90s
okay, hold
racism's
on.
pretty dope.
I am really happy that Rocco had issues
Yeah.
with the racism in
Yeah.
that room.
So honestly, I feel like Rocky.
That's what I
Rocco.
said.
Rocco. I felt like Rocco handled that whole situation really well because he didn't want to tell the Don a joke. And he kept insisting, "You're the funny guy, tell me a joke." So he pulled the most stereotypical, this joke would be good for the Don. But as he starts it, he's like, "I don't agree with this joke though."
Yeah, he's like, "Damn, I'm gonna have a whole ass Twitter thread about me if I tell this joke and it gets out."
Like he had at least as much, if not more, integrity than what's that one comedian? Comedy-
Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle. Yeah.
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 It was and like I don't know, the punchline was just like, yeah, if all
I
of
saw
the,
that one coming a
yeah,
mile
if
away.
all the blacks and the Mexicans are gone, I'll have a Coke. And then everybody was just I was just like, and then there's gonna be silence, and then they're gonna start laughing, and then it's just gonna cut to the next scene because this is the fucking brain
I
of
think-
someone that thinks they're really brilliant.
Dude, that's where Marvel got it from.
What?
That kind of scene because it goes into that, like the pacing and everything is more like James Gunn in like the Marvel movies, but like whenever something goes from like a serious to a funny, and then it's like, now tell me a second joke. Wait, what? And then it cuts to something else. Like I feel like that's been in every Marvel movie. I can't even think of a specific example, but that feels
I
so
would give that
like
to you.
tropey. But yeah, it goes from that to Rocco showing up.
So, okay, like I said, I am extremely sleep deprived at this current point in time. Did they ever give him the mission? Or was it just he showed up and then that's when he got involved?
Yo, he just showed up and they're like, oh,
yeah, no, of course they
did
didn't give him the fucking mission because God fucking damn it, man.
Wait, what
like
do you mean? Who gave who the mission?
The Don.
Told that, yeah, the Don. You never see the Don tell Rocco to go and like
that's
kill
just
this room of
implied
people.
afterwards,
Right.
and then
Yeah.
you find out in the like diner scene who gave him the mission and like who knew
Yeah,
about
and then
it
the brother's like,
everything.
bro, you're telling me that they gave you 6 bullets to kill a room of 9 people? What the fuck? That's sus. And he's like, nah, man, they wouldn't do me like that. I'm the funny guy. My name's the funny man. I'm the funny man. They wouldn't do me like that. I'm too funny.
And then he realizes he's just the butt of the joke, and then
I didn't really get that in the diner, like who those 2 guys were. And like,
they
what
were
the whole
they were
thing
also
was.
just like underlings of
Mhm.
of like the crime family, and because Rocco was just like the
I got-
delivery person.
Right.
These 2 guys are supposed to be like enforcers,
yeah,
so they're
Yeah,
higher up on the rung.
Right.
But,
Like, I
like-
got it, but I didn't get like what they said having to contribute. I don't know. I think part of it was just sort of spacing out while watching. Like I can see what's going on,
It's
but like
fine.
everyone here
You
is like
didn't miss
irrelevant
anything.
and about to die, so I don't really need to pay
this
attention.
movie like fucks with your head in the same way that like a psychological thriller does, where like you watch the movie and you go, wait, did that happen? Like, did I actually finish this movie?
Yeah,
Because it
but
honestly feels
it's
like you
still
just gave yourself a
enjoyable
concussion.
at the same time.
Yeah, like a concussion.
Yeah, exactly like a concussion. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna make it a Theo Vaughn like story sidetrack.
Yeah.
I found it so interesting that like Rocco just shows up after he just kills a bunch of people in the diner, and then we learn after the fact how it happened through like
Willem Dafoe's
Yeah.
That was, like, the
wibbly
one cool-
wobbly timey wimey bullshit. Amen. I'm just saying.
I don't
that's
have
how
any
they get it
I don't have
across.
any characters this week. I like didn't come up with any characters this week, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever.
No, but I mean that's like Willem Dafoe is like the source of the whole
Yes.
nonlinear storytelling.
Yeah.
Which is like a kind of neat way to go about it. I'm sure for the 90s that was still pretty fresh and new.
I mean, like Pulp Fiction was out. I think
Right.
Memento was already out too.
Yeah.
So it's like it's not.
it was in the
new,
early days. It wasn't like
Yeah.
overused or anything yet.
and it was done in a way that it was like, oh, you can do it poorly. Like
No, you
this
can't say
movie-
that
no,
because it
this
was
movie
yeah.
bombed.
Really?
This movie bombed in the box office.
No shit.
Huh.
It did really well in like video rentals because
Yeah.
it was like, no, everybody come around and watch how stupid these guys are. Like, like this movie is so dumb.
I think at the end of the day, like no matter what point in time, it was like, guys, come watch Willem Dafoe.
yeah,
Tell the story
100%.
of how there was a gunfight because that is the best scene in the movie.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to get to that point anymore because it was so good.
We can just skip to that point
Yeah,
because
hold
there's
on.
not much. Okay.
There is a trigger warning for anyone that does plan to watch it. A cat gets shot and blown up.
Yeah.
That was the most
In-
depressing and
In
upsetting
the
scene.
most like. In the most fucking
You just-
Looney Tunes Acme
Yeah.
dynamite thing.
Dude,
Yeah.
no.
Also,
This
hold
is
on.
Pulp
As
Fiction.
someone,
The
as-
cat was Marvin.
You're right. You're right. As someone that is a former cigarette smoker, okay? You are never chewing on pizza while smoking cigarettes. Okay? You are never fucking doing that. That is so disgusting.
That does sound pretty bad. Maybe you're eating the pizza to get the taste of the fucking cigarette out of your mouth, but at the
But
same
you
time,
are
that's
not doing
fucking the pizza.
That you are
Yeah.
a fucking psychopath if you do that. You like want to
he was
wear
in
humans.
the Italian mob.
He
I
wasn't
mean,
really in it,
Well, yeah.
you know?
Also, like, what kind of mob is going to be like, hey, we're going to make sure that this one guy who we don't actually care for knows everybody,
Yeah.
including where they live.
Yeah.
And
And like all
just
of their
be kind
activities.
of cool with it. And then just like reach a point where like, he told a joke. It wasn't that funny. We could just fucking get rid of him. that made no sense.
None of it
anyway,
made sense.
Getting to like the most important part.
So the second hit that they do. Oh wait,
Rock.
one more thing that we do need to talk about. The fucking pennies on the eyes.
Yeah.
Okay, one, not an Italian thing,
No.
Like
Okay.
That's an exclusively Greek thing.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like no one involved with. I mean, like the Don looked Greek, but like was not Greek.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Elvis
looked-
also looked Greek, not Greek.
I thought he was. He was just too Elvis. I couldn't.
But it was the Irish people that were doing
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, which
It
was
didn't
weird.
Make sense.
Because like even when Willem Dafoe was describing it, it's like, yeah, it's so the ferryman on the river Styx and everything. I'm like, yeah, that's Greek mythology. They're not Irish Catholics. They're not gonna fucking do that.
I feel like people that are fucking Orthodox
there's some-
Catholics are not gonna go around murking fools. Like that's
Yeah.
not a thing that happens.
Right.
Unless it's like appealing to the fact that they're like they are familiar with all
maybe
these
it's-
cultures and they know all these
it's
languages.
just like,
so like,
man, look at these guys. You know,
Oh,
they're
yeah,
working
I
in
guess
meat
that's an angle.
packing. They work in meat packing plants, but they're so much smarter than the college people.
I'm just
like, look at
glad-
how cultured they are.
I'm just
Yeah.
glad that their union gave them all this PTO.
They were definitely a part of a union, but the union did not give them that much PTO. You know?
yeah. Right.
Those guys were probably getting paid like $15 an hour in 1999 and like 6 McDoubles.
That's not bad for 99.
yeah.
$15 an hour in 99. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Inflation
decent.
hadn't really hit yet.
No.
Yeah. That was probably enough to like buy a chicken.
So they just lived upstairs in like the abandoned bathroom.
It was a studio.
No, there weren't walls. It was just a bathroom.
It's a studio. That is kind of what a studio is.
Right, but it was a studio with less walls.
It's a Boston studio. Everybody knows that Boston's behind by 12 years.
At least.
Yeah. Like in the 1980s, gang violence was still being done with blunderbusses.
It's a little bit more than 12 years.
Motherfuckers were still having like gaping wounds the size of lemons left by lead balls.
But on to the best scene. Not the violence itself, but in Willem Dafoe's recounting of the tale of how Rocco helped them kill the
One
guy
of their
who's
fixers.
responsible for like the worst day in his life.
It's another fixer.
Yeah.
So a fixer is essentially someone that just takes out, you know, like one of the
loose
hitmen.
ends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was just this guy that was just really quiet. Because Rocco is just like a neurotic little fucker and
Yeah.
like could not handle being alone with his own thoughts. So he
was another one where like I saw him like when they showed him like in the bunker or whatever on the shitter. I was like, why does that look like? And I forgot who the fuck it looked like. I'm very upset I didn't write these down. I should have been more prepared. I was just too excited to talk about Willem Dafoe reenacting the entire gunshot, looking like he's on, because he starts it well kept. The hair is all done. He's an FBI man. And then fucking 5 seconds into him talking
half
about
his
how
shirt is untucked. He's
his
sweaty
hair's
as fuck.
everywhere. He's just like pointing to the sky, drops to his knees. There was a shootout.
And then like he takes out his service weapon and just fires the
Pretends
entire
to be
magazine.
like be in the fucking
No,
shootout
in the
whole
front
time.
lawn. He's
Oh,
on
yeah.
his knees
No, he just
firing
shoots
his
fucking
entire
straight
magazine
into
in the air.
Amazing.
All this is his version of sex. Like him being gay is meaningless in
Dude,
comparison
okay.
to like this climax for him.
Dude, he's the epitome of like, listen, if you fuck a guy and you're a guy, it's not gay. You just had to get your rocks off. But like if they're cuddling, really gay. That's Willem Dafoe's character.
That was pretty much it.
That's exactly what it
was.
was.
100% what his character was.
Listen, if you got to dress as a lady and try to fuck a guy just to help the homies out, it's not that gay.
Yeah.
I wonder how far he would go before the wig started like slipping off, like because it shows that like that was the reason why he stopped.
Yeah. Well,
Like-
I mean, because here's the thing. If it got to him taking his clothes off, dude, the cake boss was going to know.
I think he wanted him to see his dick though before he murked him.
That would be, yeah. That would be like, that's pretty in character for this Willem Dafoe character.
Yeah.
For sure.
I could see it.
Fuck, what were we talking about before I went back to the dude just getting slapped because he wanted to cuddle?
The best scene in the movie.
Yeah. So he fires an entire magazine in the air and just like completely forgets.
While explaining to the fucking Irish cops who can't put two and two together, like what exactly happened. Because like the second that he worked out what happened in the alley with the toilet, like, oh, like if we think it's just wrong and I'm going to have to get coffee anyways, so we'll just like go with him. Be like, hey, yeah, what happened? And he'll just tell us.
Oh man, what was the fat fucker? The fat cop's name? The one that said symbology, and I fucking died.
Yeah.
In the scene with the fucking
with the Russian. Oh my god.
Pennies on the eyes.
Oh yeah. What's the symbology? I'm like,
pennies?
Damn, Patrick Starr like falling on hard times. Bikini Bottom's economy in shambles after NAFTA. Had to go be a cop. Holy shit. Oh man. So after that scene was when like Willem Dafoe has just this existential crisis of like I'm a fucking terrible
because I didn't remember Rocco. And then he just goes and gets drunk.
No, he like falls down, finds the missing finger.
Yeah.
Which was shot off by I found out while I was in the car driving.
No. We'll get there.
This is when we're here.
Because we forgot about like how he was released and everything.
Yeah, we need to talk about this
Il Duce or whatever.
Yeah, this movie's version of John Wick, but John Wick actually got in prison.
Yeah. Rocco is like hitting all the dudes in the Irish mob. And then the Irish mob boss is like, bro, they're getting all of us. And he goes to like the retired mob boss, who is now a janitor, who's just like the Kobe of urinal cakes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That man was swishing urinal cakes from like half court.
And he's just telling like, hey, man, I need Il Duce or whatever. And he's like, hey, man, listen, he had a code. He just didn't kill women and kids, but like he was someone you don't fuck with. And in the prison, like it takes every police officer in the building to like move him to get like acquitted or whatever. And he's looking down the whole time. I don't know what you were thinking, but I was like, oh, please let this be Mel Gibson. If this is Mel Gibson, this is the greatest movie of all time. This would be so fucking funny if in this movie, the big bad is Mel Gibson. Please. And then I was disappointed.
Yeah.
But
he wasn't the big bad, so,
He was like geared up to be.
He was.
But he was
everybody
also,
in this movie was fucking terrible.
He was the source of the catharsis of the one Irish officer. Because he was the man with 6 guns.
You're right.
Sure.
You're right.
Because Willem Dafoe was like, it was an ambush, and when he's telling the story,
you see 6
6 dudes lined up with like 1 gun each, and then when it's actually happening, you see that it's this dude or whatever he was kind of dressed like Daddy from Dodgeball.
Yeah, yeah, just a little bit.
A little bit.
I will say that was a clever way to give that one person
It completes their storyline. Everything comes full circle for him.
That and like the plot armor of this person is as skilled as 6 people.
Yeah.
It like implies that like epicness to him.
But like this is the thing, right? All of them have such terrible aim.
Mm-hmm. Only in this instance.
It's like in every other instance. It's just like they're fucking like no-scoping fools.
Yeah.
Because they weren't supposed to hit each other. That's the point. It's all God's divine intervention the whole time.
Man.
True.
Come on.
That's so Protestant.
And that's why only the Italian loses a finger and then the other guys just like get shot in. It's a movie, so getting shot in the leg doesn't mean anything. Getting shot in the shoulder doesn't mean anything. They just iron the bullets out and they're fine.
The hot iron scene was wild.
It felt like a Family Guy cutaway gag.
Man,
and the whole like
this was so Top Gun because like the homies had to hold each other so tight.
Like the use of like a fabric as something to bite on. Like it's always a belt, It's always a belt.
Yeah.
They used like some fabric which doesn't actually.
It was like a towel, bro.
It was a towel from like a pizza place.
Yeah.
Like you know exactly. You see that green checker pattern, you're like, that's from a place called like Joe's Pizza.
Yep.
Okay, wait, hold on. No, I'm sorry.
Somehow-
We're being really, really fucking scatterbrained about this right now, but it's fine because that's what this movie is.
Yeah.
But like,
How dare you?
they shot up the fucking like porn theater.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's how Elvis died.
Yeah.
That is how Elvis died.
And then they just killed two randos who
I
just
thought
went
it
to
was-
go jerk off in a
I thought
closet.
it was-
Rocky did though.
So I thought that it was supposed to be like a strip club, but I guess it wasn't.
No, it was just a
It
place
was
to
a
watch
fucking-
pornos. It looked like.
Yeah, it was a jerk off
maybe
hut
both.
or some shit.
It could have been both.
Because there was the dancer chick,
Yeah.
and then like
And then like Rocco was feeling
grabbed
her
the
up,
boob.
Yeah.
and then that was the
He acknowledged that was fucked up, which is like okay, and then it's like let me make
That
up for it
was
by killing people.
Weinstein's
Like that's not how
no,
this
that
works.
was Weinstein's contribution
Oh,
to
yeah,
the
yeah,
movie.
for sure.
Yeah,
His
he's
other one.
yeah,
Yeah. And then how Willem Dafoe like plays that scene out too is like, hey, listen, we got a JFK magic bullet situation because we got bullets from gun A where the gun B was, and we got bullets from gun B where the gun A was. So I don't know what happened because it was totally one person. And then he just crosses his arm and he's like, oh, we got a cowboy. Like that whole scene was pretty unnecessary. Like
The entire fucking movie was unnecessary.
No, it was completely necessary for American culture.
We needed to see Willem Dafoe's theatrics.
Yes.
When he had the pink like furry boa, I was like, this is the
Amazing.
funniest shit I've ever seen. Oh my god.
Man, I'm so psyched that we're gonna have him on to like talk about horror movies at some point. It's gonna be so great. That one needs to be on camera for proof.
Yeah, we'll put that one on camera. Okay, so then after like Il Duce comes out of jail because like the mob is just that linked with law enforcement.
And he finds out that the arthritis just hit him really hard and he can't aim anymore.
What happens after that?
So
So like they went and
they go to iron themselves out.
and then they wow, good pun. Good one.
Then
The church scene, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
then
I love how they like massacred 19 people and went, no, we still got to go to church.
Yeah. for
every
sure.
Sunday.
Yeah.
And Rocco's like, hey man, church gotta stop. And they're like, how dare you?
So I was really confused where Rocco goes because like he drops them off at the church and then he ends
He
up
just like goes to
being
get a sandwich.
in the church.
No, he like went
He
to
went to
park
go get a
his car.
sandwich, and then he saw Willem Dafoe like fall out drunk from the bar that he was at, where he called the dude a fairy, and he doesn't want him alive because he's like, oh, he knows you guys or whatever. And this is the whole thing. And the like Catholic code of honor is like, no, but he's a good man. Like he helped us out, and like he's one of the good guys, so we don't touch him. That's a no-no.
And then also like
And then instead of shooting him, he threatens to shoot a fucking priest in a confessional.
And
It's
then-
like, yeah, hey, listen, if the FBI agent is a good guy and they're in church, what do you think the priest is? You think they're going to be cool with you holding one up hostage?
okay,
And
hold
for
on.
some reason,
In defense of Rocco, it is a Boston Catholic church in the 90s.
you know
Yeah.
what? That's a fair point.
Yeah.
Thinking about that whole scene now, like it's so tempting to
Yeah.
make the like Catholic priest joke. It was like that's the first time the Catholic priest felt the way that he's made other people feel.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like it, it's like that's where it happened too, because it's for some reason like a three-way confessional. You know, I don't because I didn't
How
get
does that
why
work?
that was a thing.
I
think
thought it was
it
only
doesn't.
two sides.
It is,
Yeah.
but for some reason there was just a third, so that the movie could happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of things just happen for the movie to happen.
Yeah. I mean, the movie happened so that the movie could happen. Like that's essentially what
That is
what-
the rule
yeah.
of movies.
So this
happen so
movie
they
was
can happen.
wholly unnecessary.
Nah, dude, that they needed this. This movie is why we have the good guy with the gun argument
Yeah.
today.
Like actually.
You can hear the discourse in the end credits.
Everybody,
That's literally
in the
what the whole
comment
thing
section,
is.
in the comment section, tell us how much you hate gun control laws. This is the audience that I want to cultivate for our podcast.
Like in the bio of the guy who's making these Twitter threads, it's good guy with a gun.
Yeah, it's
Like that is his bio.
Directed by good guy with the gun.
directed by good guy with a gun. # Let's Go Brandon. # 2A. Yeah, it's one of those fuckers. Oh my god.
So then they decide now they need to hit like the capo or whatever, like the Italian mob boss who we told the joke. He's like, hey man, listen, it wasn't funny and he can't live. I told the bad joke. He heard the bad joke. He's got to die. He's the source of them. Like the cake boss is there. I don't trust him. There's a couple other dudes. And then they get caught off camera, which is super lame.
Rocco wasn't in that final scene though. It was the like
He was.
Wasn't it like the 3 people that shot the Don was the like John Wick like
No, they went there to shoot him, but they got caught off camera, so that's why they were all tied up. When
It's
you see
because
them.
they already knew that they were gonna be there.
Yeah.
It was a setup.
maybe I forgot the scene before. Does this happen before the trial scene?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
Okay.
in the mansion.
They don't show them getting captured.
Yeah,
It
you just see them
happens.
tied up to the chairs.
Oh, okay.
It happens off camera.
I remember now. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it cuts from like it cuts from them. I don't even think it cuts to them like entering the home. It
No.
straight up is
No.
a car outside, and then you just see sexy Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, that's why I
No.
forgot that scene. 'Cause,
Right.
Like it just
No,
made no.
it's Willem Dafoe goes to like the retired mob guy in the bathroom shooting urinal cakes.
Oh
and then,
yeah,
like
to ask
it cuts
him about
back.
like Il Duce and what he's doing, and he's like, Il Duce's after Rocco because the mob wanted to get rid of Rocco because he knows everyone, and they're like, oh fuck, we let a guy live who knows everyone that doesn't like us anymore because we're like, hey, he's useless and he's still alive, and now he's getting us somehow. So he knows Il Duce's coming for them, and they already went to go get the Don, but he's only after Rocco. It's weirdly convoluted when you try to say everything out loud.
Yeah.
It's okay,
But-
it's complicated in the same way that like after pounding back a case of old style, playing checkers is complicated. That's how I would describe this movie. It's like really simple shit, but like you're doing it really drunk.
Stupid.
There's
Really drunk.
Yeah.
There are so many things missing that you want to believe that there's a like director's cut version where like all the things that
But
are missing
you know
are
that there is. You know that there is, and none of it is going to help.
No, it
it's
was
just going to be more Twitter posts. It's just going to show more scenes of like them using slurs. Like that's basically
Yeah.
that's what I believe.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
see that.
But yeah, so then they're all like cuts to them all tied up in chairs or whatever. They wait for Rocco to just get murked before they decide to sneak out of their fucking handcuffs.
Which like it involved like breaking one of the dude's wrists, but then when the handcuffs came off, his wrist was fine.
Yeah, you know, like you do.
I didn't get what it like. He was just like kicking the fucking back of the chair. I was like, they didn't show what he was kicking, but like, what's his face from Walking Dead? Remus.
Norman Remus? I don't know.
Yeah.
Just keep
Norman
going.
Reedus.
He was like grunting in pain because he was getting kicked somehow. It was pretty unclear what exactly was happening, but it's like they're escaping by kicking. All right, you know,
Okay,
enough has happened where I can suspend my disbelief
in defense,
one more
in
time.
defense, I'm sure that you guys have also experienced this where like your brother wanted the front seat of the car, but then like they couldn't get it, so they spent the entire car ride kicking the back of the car. You would also be grunting and going, "Mom."
Except they didn't. And then like they get free. They kill the rest of the dude. Like the mob boss leaves after he kills Rocco. Like he goes out to the car and then just takes off. The rest of the guys are still there. They're like, hey, Il Duce is going to come to finish this job, but his job's already finished, so he's going to be bored and like kill the rest of you guys. So like, don't die. Yeah. That's it. And then sexy Willem Dafoe shows up instead and then
kills a guy, and
kills
then,
one dude.
and then fucking goes too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, no.
Or no, it was too far. He goes too far.
Too far. But then he walks out and sees the other guy who like saw the cake boss walk in with dude. He was like, oh man, come on, I haven't got laid in like 2 weeks. I need this. He's like, all right, I get it. So then he sees Willem Dafoe alone or whatever. Hey babe, what do you charge for like 2 for 1? And I don't know where.
Wait, hold on. I think I blacked out. I don't remember this scene.
It's just one
It was
quick
the
exchange.
He
Walks out to the hallway. The other guy's there, and then he shoots him. And then like this other dude says this thing, and then Willem Dafoe goes to shoot him. But the sound effect that they use for that one shot is literally like some Ricochet shit out of Hanna-Barbera. I paused the movie and just started laughing my ass off because it's all been set in reality gunshots, but the second shot that Willem Dafoe fires is straight up some like fucking boomerang nonsense.
Okay.
I
That's
don't
pretty
know if
dope.
you guys heard it, but I like, oh
I
my
obviously
God.
didn't. I think I legitimately blacked out. I don't remember the scene.
Oh, dude, it's like it was still sexy Willem Dafoe. How do you blank out during any sexy
I don't
Willem
know,
Dafoe?
man. I honestly don't. I just
think
don't
there was a
remember the
scene between that scene. I mean, sexy William Dafoe was in
I think
that
it was like
scene.
cutting in between,
Yeah.
like the brothers kicking each other and sexy Willem Dafoe.
Sure,
It's cutting between
sure.
them. And then like that Ricochet shit happened. It happens right before like Il Duce knocks out Willem Dafoe. Because he's going to kill the third guy, but the third guy's got his throat slit on the chair. And he's like, how did that happen? And then he gets knocked out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because Il Duce can tell, oh no, he's a good man.
find
Oh
it-
wait, no, he's a woman. So he doesn't kill him. That's why. Okay.
I feel like
Oh
you
my
and
God.
me both
I'm
like
so
you and me both forgot this part of the
I'm
movie.
so glad that we're so close to being done with this movie. Like we're so close to it being the end. I need to get on a fucking bullet train out of this.
And so then Il Duce, like in trying to wrap up and get Rocco, he goes downstairs to where they were being held. They're about to like pray over, the brothers are about to pray over Rocco since he got killed or whatever. Il Duce opens the door, hears them praying like their family prayer that they couldn't tell Rocco because it was a family prayer. They get interrupted. They hear the dude sneaking in. They turn around, guns drawn on Il Duce. Then Il Duce keeps talking. It's like, oh, papa, because it's only a family prayer, so only the family gets it. Did you catch that?
Dude, I think I was just
Thank
not-
Neither of you guys caught
Thank
that he's
you,
their
dude.
dad?
Literally.
Come
Okay,
on.
I'm in the car driving here and he's like, "Oh man." And then the scene where like, you know, the guy turns out to be the dad. I'm like, "No fucking shot that this dude is smart enough to flesh out this story."
I might have fallen asleep literally for like a couple minutes during this scene because I literally do not.
No,
remember.
see, this is the
Wow.
thing. I just didn't even realize that it was a family prayer.
No, they
Oh,
said
that I
that. That's
caught,
why,
yeah.
like, Rocco was like, hey, man, you guys got to tell me this family prayer because, like, that shit's kind of dope. Like, dude, no, this is, like, actually, like, sacred.
Dude,
and
okay.
we go to church.
Legitimately,
so, like, kind of fuck
legitimately,
off. Uh-huh.
you know what that is, right?
What?
This dude watched Pulp Fiction and went, Samuel L. Jackson's the best character.
I am convinced I fell asleep during this scene because I didn't know that Rocco died. I was like, where did Rocco go? in the
How?
last scene?
Yeah, no, you definitely passed out there.
Rocco died.
Yeah.
Rocco died.
He nut. Vasilio's nut. He saw Willem Dafoe.
You passed
like,
the, yeah.
almost fucked. He nut. He passed out.
Yeah,
for like 5 minutes.
He had post nut clarity because when he woke up, it was just like, oh, they're in trial. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, no, I didn't catch on to that at all, and I had like a
No, I got that instantly.
yeah, I didn't because I didn't want to
I
understand.
was so surprised that you did not
This
catch
is
that.
how I know that I'm dumber than you sometimes, but you are also definitely a dumb guy since you put this together. Like
They
this
made
movie
it
was
pretty
made for
clear.
you. This movie was made for you.
Yeah,
Because you
way
didn't-
more than Luck of the Irish was.
You didn't black out at any point in this movie. That is
actually-
that is
actually-
a sign.
that is
No,
the
no, no.
sign that you are the dumb guy.
No, honest to God, like in the beginning, I was watching the movie and like I had to
He
get
is
up early.
trying so
I didn't-
hard
He
to
is.
rationalize the dumb guy energy.
Dude, no, I'm not rationalizing. I'm
listen,
just saying
that's
He's doing
I
what
literally,
Mr. Duffy does during this movie.
I
Yeah,
watched this
that's fine.
in parts.
Listen, that's fine. We get it. We like dumb guys. Dumb guys are dope. Dudes rock.
Dude, no, I'm not.
Dudes rock.
I'm not. I'm
We're
not.
just- yeah,
I'm not saying
you're
I'm
just
not a dumb guy.
You're just a dude being a dude. Like, chill. It's okay. We
I'm a
accept
dude.
you.
You're a dude. She's a dude. Because we're all dudes.
Yeah, and
I
dudes
get it.
rock.
No, but like I'm not denying that I am a dumb guy. I understand this.
Yeah.
But I did break it up in part. I did not watch it in one go.
I watched it in one go with like major amounts of sleep deprivation, and like I definitely blacked out in multiple parts of this movie where it's just like there are just blank spots.
Yeah.
Because this movie it feels like watching or like listening to Teenage Dirtbag on loop for an hour 47. Oh my god. Okay, so we find out that Il Duce is
their dad
is
because
the dad.
they like he continues their prayer after they get interrupted and they all say it like together or something and complete it. Then they go to the courtroom to like kill the guy because like Willem Dafoe's their friend and the cops were always their friend. So they let him bring guns into the courtroom, take him hostage, and then they give like the same speech that they give in Helsing Ultimate Abridged, which is where I was like, oh, they talk about Boondock Saints in this movie? I haven't seen that. I want to watch Boondock Saints so I get this Team 4-Star reference.
Oh, okay.
That's the origin
And
of
now
this
you
episode.
know.
And he's no, like he is just a dumb
guy. I
He
know.
is.
I did not deny it.
Okay. No, everything makes so much more sense now. Oh, okay.
Like, this episode has multiple origin stories
Yeah.
across the board.
Everything makes so much more sense right now.
Yeah.
The fucking court scene is just, it was exhausting. It was exhausting to watch. It honestly felt like running a marathon.
I like how
It's
the guys who murdered everyone in the movie were talking about like, yeah, don't murder, don't rape. And they're like, well, you guys definitely did one of those a lot.
You did a lot.
That's pretty...
The one line, and like the dialogue is just written in a way where I'm like, it's a dumb guy being smart.
It's a dumb guy pretending like he read the Bible trying to be smart.
It's like, no, we want your corrupt, we want your whatever. And I'm just like, oh God.
No, they said they didn't want.
No, they did not want the sick. They did not want the
lowly
wounded.
and
The
poor
lowly.
and
It's
stuff.
like, but
Yeah.
we want your corrupt. We want your. It's because the whole thing with Jesus.
Yeah. I was, because of like the Team 4-Star thing, I thought they were going to like call themselves like the Iscariots or something. I thought that was all going to be like some fucking thing that I never picked up on watching the Abridged. And it wasn't. I was like, oh, okay. Well, that's a little disappointing.
But yeah, so then the dad and his two sons are reunited after 30 years, and they off the
mob boss.
But like before that, there's a really creepy, like Epstein-esque interaction between the dad and like the redhead.
Well, listen, she was an adult. It didn't look at her first. Like when her head was down, I was like, that's a kid. No, but she looked up and then she ran out of the courthouse. And, oh no, that's like an actual like
it's like she
lady
was
in her 20s.
She was like 20 tops.
Right.
It was like definitely weird guy energy.
Yeah.
Right.
No, definitely.
And he's just like, honey, you have to look at this. I'm like, ew.
No, I was just like, man, why couldn't you be Mel Gibson? This would be so much funnier.
But like the entire, like that scene gave me the heebie-jeebies where I'm like, that's a Weinstein contribution. That's Weinstein contribution number 3 where it's like, honey, you have to look.
Rule of threes.
Yeah. Does not work in this situation. Kind of works in comedy. This, and then they off the guy, and then the lady runs out, and he's like, I was there. And then it cuts to them in like a hideout house, and then the two guys are like, what are we going to do?
Connor's just like, what are we going to do, da? And I had fucking flashbacks immediately to watching Luck of the Irish and just hearing that kid say Granda. And I was like,
yeah, pretty.
No, we can't go back. I enjoyed this movie. We can't do this now. Why here?
And then right after that, it cuts to like
don't show me your
testimonials.
shoe collection.
It cuts to the testimonials, and the testimonials is where I'm like, okay, so what are the politics of this movie? Like, it just I don't get it. Like, what is the messaging here? Like, what is he trying to achieve aside from
the messaging is no comment.
Because a lot of it is like the end thing is like, oh, you talking about this is giving them more power, and like you're giving them publicity so they're famous, right? So I'm like, okay, no, I kind of get that.
Yeah.
There's a part of me that does agree of like not plastering mass shooters all over the place because you're giving them notoriety.
one straight up was like, yeah, you're giving them so much popularity, they're going to have posters of Boondock Saints, fucking Batman, and Superman or whatever.
Yeah. And then there were a bunch of people that like these are just the hooting chuds of North America in 2023 of like, yeah, just give me a gun. I'm good guy.
I think
I'm good guy with
I
gun.
think one of the dudes was just like, yeah, no, like these guys should be like, they just get off on murder. And then like later on in the testimony, he was like, yeah, man, just let me do it. Give me a gun. I was like, bro, what side are you
like
on?
what are we doing? You know, like what is the? And then
They needed one more black guy, and they're just like, nah, no one's gonna notice if we just use him twice. We just like dress him differently. It's like, no, it's two guys.
Yeah, it was such
like, the writer
very
definitely-
confusing messaging. It was like what?
He's just trying to cover the whole political spectrum to be like, see, I'm a smart guy.
Oh God, yeah, he's a both sides guy. He's a
Yeah.
both sides got good people
Yeah.
guy.
So I guess what I got out of it is like a lot of anarchy. I got like just nature of like vigilantism. It's
Yeah.
just like not trusting authority to fix things. You kind of got to do it yourself. And like when I go back to like the opening scene in the church or whatever, they have complete disregard for authority, where they just walk past the priest during the sermon because they don't care, and then do the thing at
it's
the
like
altar.
no, that's why I'm saying it is extremely confusing, because it is literally the most Protestant Catholic movie that I've ever
And
seen.
it's like-
because like the whole thing with Protestantism is like I'm going to worship God based off of my own
Yeah.
moral code.
Yeah.
Like that is not something that Catholicism follows.
No.
Right.
Catholicism is very much so by the book.
Yeah.
Right.
It's so I don't like I just didn't
I feel like that's been changing a bit, at least under Francis.
yeah,
Where it's
yeah.
not like literally like how what's her face wants to be a Supreme Court justice, like a Bible traditionalist or whatever.
Like that, yes. But the entire thing is like the root of like there's a reason why there was a separation between Catholicism and all the other sects of Christianity, right? And like one of the main things is your moral code should be dictated by the Bible. Like there's an inherent respect for authority.
mm-hmm.
So like these guys that are supposedly like devout Catholics disregarding authority is just like this really weird
Mm-hmm.
It's a really weird dissonance that I didn't understand,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
because it's like
And like
you're not writing this movie the way that you think you're writing it.
Yeah.
And I think what was especially weird with that being like the opening sequence is like the whole thing with like the visiting priest like reacting and everyone else being cool with it. It's like they were already known as the Saints,
Yeah.
but then Rocco's just like, oh, you guys just kind of started killing people. I'm like, yeah, those first two just kind of fell in our lap. It's like, hold on, wait. So how do you have the reputation to be able to do that with the pastor like completely unfazed? Like, yeah, they do this.
Well, like maybe they just showed up with cow tongues and just started slapping around priests, and then they were like, "Listen, not a good cut of meat
Listen.
if it's not slow cooked."
Listen, you got it. Like, this is just brotherly love. Get over it.
Yeah. It was a very strange movie. Like I enjoyed it because at the end of the day, it is a dumb action movie.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But like, you can tell that the writer didn't know where he wanted the movie to go.
Yeah.
Like I said,
It was
it's not a
string
coherent.
of cool action
Yes,
sequences.
that is exactly
that, like,
what it is.
happened by accident or otherwise.
I think they wanted the Don to die, and like they just created this whole like
Yeah,
way to get there.
yeah. It was like taking the long way home.
Okay. I don't know how I feel about like Rocco dying before the Don dies, because like he's the reason
Well,
why
the Don
that whole,
shoots him too. The Don's the one that kills him.
Right.
Yeah.
Like there was like an element of like character progression, because he seemed like an opportunist in this whole scenario. Like
yes,
he
he was
like,
extremely opportunistic.
yeah, because like he was like, oh, let me shoot, let me do all this stuff. Is like I feel
And
like
even Willem
emotionally
Dafoe
wounded.
was just like, good shooting, bad shooting.
Yeah.
I guess this is the part where we can kind of analyze the movie a little bit more. But I feel like this movie really encapsulates the whole like operator culture that has kind of formed inside of this country, where it's like everybody wants to be like tactical and be able to do military shit,
Mm.
you know? And I feel like this is a movie that, I don't know, in the 90s, I don't think that this was as common, but like now, right? Like you have everybody that's like, yeah, I want to be a Navy SEAL. And you have like obese Texans going and paying like thousands of dollars to be yelled at by a guy that dropped out of the SEALs program.
Mm-hmm. At least they don't shoot at balloons in the sky, though.
I mean,
If
if you gave them the opportunity, they probably would. But like, I think that this movie, if it was released in 2023, it would be under like the Daily Wire. Like, this is 100% like a Daily Wire
Co-opted.
OAN network
For sure.
movie.
They would like it more than they like The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
No, and I'm sure that like this is the favorite movie of people of that ilk, because it is like a libertarian's wet dream where it's like, yeah, if I go find this Irish dude with like a bike rack of fucking weapons and I give him a pager, he'll give me a sniper.
Yeah.
Like I can just get one.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
Dude, I like how he treated his whole operation like it was like Plato's closet. He's like, hey, cover fee, here's 2 bags, fill them up.
Yeah.
And then they just shouldered the rope. You're like, it's just rope.
the movie says a lot about the person that wrote it.
Yeah.
And how like they view the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because this is-
Something about it feels like it was made by like just a person, like not an art student, not like, it's something about
Yeah,
it, like it feels
it's
like
because
blue collar filmmaking or something.
it's because he was in LA during the 90s. It was a huge crime.
Right.
Shout outs to the crime. Hold up. Everybody shut up. Wee-oo, wee-oo, wee-oo. So the crime rates did go up. And this was definitely written by a person that did not have a material understanding of why crime rates go up, why crime exists, and like all of the causes of high crime rate areas, and just felt as though it needed to be stopped.
Mm-hmm.
Not understanding that like an increase in police activity and all of this just increases the crime rates because more things become crimes, right? So it is definitely written by someone that was not infected with like political brain rot, but it's also coming from just an inherently reactionary piece of shit.
Yeah. I mean, it's easy to like just focus all these solutions on and problems on just individuals.
Yeah, and you can see it too in the way that he portrayed the cops.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, they're undertrained, they're underfunded, and like look at the people that are supposed to be protecting us. Like we have to take this into our own hands now.
It's a big guy.
It's a big guy. And like I said, while I enjoy this movie as like an actual just like a stupid action movie in the same way that I love Con Air and I love Face Off and all of those types of movies, knowing who made this movie, knowing how like reading up on the director a little bit before coming here and just like seeing how his career has panned out and everything that he has kind of peddled, it just goes.
There's more?
I thought you were just like saying it like this guy is probably this. I didn't know that these were all like actual things about his
These are
career.
real things. These are real things.
That recontextualizes all of that information.
Reading up on him and his beliefs and like how he basically wants to be like a rock star movie director in the way that, Martin Scorsese or Quentin Tarantino is, but like without any of the technical ability to do so, and him reacting so negatively that he's like, Hollywood tried to cancel me, but I'm still making movies. I'm like, no, you're not. You made Boondock Saints 2, which also tanked. And then the 2 stars of your movie just refused to work on the 3rd one because of like very fucked up working conditions, which like I haven't really done enough research into that one to like, really make claims on
the specifics.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, it's just like you can tell what kind of person made this movie.
Yeah.
They are the type of person that like believes in bullshit libertarianism. So shout outs to all my libertarians. I hope you all go play in traffic. I got toasters. Send me your address. I'll give them to you. I'll give you the instructions of how to fill up your bathtub. Just take care of the issue, man. I do not support your non-aggression pact. I am extremely aggressive against your beliefs. And yeah, I'm putting that out there.
So, once again, speaking of dumb guy shit, next week's movie is going to be Idiocracy.
Yeah. Before we sign off and do ratings, Dove Cameron, how about you come on here and we not watch a dumb guy movie? I'd
say that's a wasted opportunity.
Okay, see, at this point, it's not even a matter of like the joke. Like, I need you to come on here to save me because like Jesse has figured out he has figured out the kryptonite. If he makes me watch the Boondock Saints 2, if he makes me watch another dumb guy movie, this podcast is going to end. This is like from an artist to another artist. This is my SOS. I need you, and I really need you. Please. Okay, ratings. The guest goes first.
Yeah. All right. So the anarchist aspects of it wants me to put it at a 7, but the thick veneer of absurdity and continuity, which doesn't exist, I'd say about a 5.
Oh, that's too low.
What?
This is a solid 8 bings out of 10 bongs.
Bro, I'm giving it 9 out of 10 digits.
Ooh. Ooh.
If the
it's just because it's Irish.
I mean like fingers.
I know, but it's just because it's Irish. The fucking idiot.
When I saw the Catholic sign of the cross, I'm like, all right, this is outside of my wheelhouse. I can't.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys next week. Bye.